Hello and welcome. I'm Dr. Billy Hensley, President and CEO of the National Endowment for Financial Education, better known as NEFE. I'm pleased to welcome you to this financial education policy convening, which we are hosting in partnership with the Council for Economic Education. What's our goal by having these discussions? We all agree that without financial education, future generations will fall well short of living their best financial lives, but it's considerably more complex and urgent than that. Financial fragility is prevalent, with over half of U.S. adults admitting they're living paycheck to paycheck. And without early and continuous access to financial education, young people will move into adulthood struggling to build the skills they need to manage personal finances. Gaining confidence, thinking critically, and planning effectively not only enhance financial well-being, but are essential for thriving. But this group already knows this all too well. We must move toward transparency. Acknowledging financial education doesn't solve everything. There are many benefits, but also limits. Thoughtful policy and regulation, economic conditions, and access to appropriate financial services also influence well-being. This is one of the challenges with financial education. Although well-meaning, our efforts are literally all over the place. The intention behind our conversation is to better understand the ecosystem and how we all work within it. What's more is that we're often at odds with what and how to teach. We need to adopt best practices and coalesce around 5 factors for effective education that are backed by research. Learning that is delivered by well-trained educators, using vetted and evaluated program materials, make sure the instruction is timely and uses relevant subject matter, and provides evidence of impact. That's why we've invited you to these important conversations. We see this not only as a learning agenda, but also a forum where we listen to the experiences, stories, challenges, and successes of our community. At NEFE, we are evolving. Although you may know us as a leader in curriculum development, we've made the decision to transform into an institute that brings together research, thought leadership, educators, policymakers, and other leaders in our field to drive evidence-based strategies. Where our curricula enabled individual interventions, our new approach will enable systemic interventions, all for one purpose: to bring intentionality to financial education. You can help us along this journey. We look forward to your discussions of the opportunities and challenges you encounter when considering statewide financial education policy and programming, and to hear you talk about crafting strategies with end goals in mind, how you identify clear downstream behaviors and outcomes for financial education, measurements, and program delivery vehicles. We hope that these forums will encourage the kind of peer-to-peer sharing that will lay the groundwork for effective intervention and possible legislation, all leading to better outcomes. Thank you all. I look forward to a great discussion. And now a few remarks from our partners for the Council for Economic Education.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Nan Morrison, President and CEO of the Council for Economic Education. I cannot thank you enough for being here to advance our collective and crucial work of crafting and implementing meaningful financial education for every child. As I think about our work, I recall retired Admiral Bill McRaven and his commencement address at the University of Texas. No leadership advice from Sun Tzu, no lofty quotes from Churchill. Instead, he led with this: if you want to change the world, start by making your bed. It will give you a small sense of pride and encourage you to do another task and another and another. And by the end of the day, that small task completed will turn into many tasks completed. Each of our tasks, our roles, our work, builds together to move the field forward. All tasks completed. CEO's task? To equip K-12 students with the tools and knowledge of personal finance and economics so they can make better decisions for themselves, their families, and their communities. The impact of this pandemic will be felt by the most vulnerable for months and years ahead. It is a blow to those who are just recovering from the Great Recession, the middle and working classes. And this virus has revealed fault lines throughout our society with a far higher health and economic tolls taken in minority communities. As this second Black Swan event in just a dozen years reminds us, CEE's mission is enduring. Truly. In Black and brown communities, intergenerational wealth transfer is typically tenuous at best, explaining not just the intransience of racial wealth inequality, but this tragic statistic as well. 70% of middle-class Black children will likely be poorer than their parents. Which brings us back to why we are here today. Policymakers, researchers, and leaders of nonprofits convening to share your experiences, challenges, and opportunities, working together to break that cycle, to complete the tasks, to make it better. CEE is here because we have been doing this a long time. This past year, we used our capabilities and scale to take all of our student programs virtual and double the number of educators reached virtually to over 10,000. We're here in partnership with the National Endowment for Financial Education as a leading conduit for evidence-based strategies in education design and policy. We are here together with you for one purpose: to listen. What are your current initiatives? What shows promise? How do your ideas and initiatives inform all of our work? How can we best collaborate? And how can we tailor our research, policy development, and programs for students and teachers to meet the needs of every state and community? We are here today because our best work happens when it is shaped by all of us, one task at a time to get the whole job done. So here are the ground rules for today's program. You speak, we'll listen. Thank you very much and have a great day.